looking at the injury mechanism in terms of potential severity, and then touch on whether or not I think this really should be a concern about the intentionality of this play. So first thing first, of course, we're dealing with a right knee injury for Cunningham, and this is going to be contact. Of course, the player for Connecticut is going to fall into the outside of her right knee, and what that's most likely going to do, we can't exactly see her foot position down here, but I think what this is causing is a forced valgus load.
Bria Hartley thought she could pull off one of the dirtiest fouls in recent WNBA memory against Sophie Cunningham, but she was dead wrong. What went down inside Mohegan Sun Arena wasn't just a hard foul. It's being called an all-out assault, and now the fallout is spiraling way beyond basketball. Cunningham's family isn't just upset, they're furious, and they've taken the nuclear route, suing Hartley and the WNBA. It all went down on August 17, 2025, second quarter. 8:04 on the clock. Indiana Fever's Sophie Cunningham is locked in on defense, holding her ground under the basket. Then, out of nowhere, Connecticut Sun's Bria Hartley charges in, loses balance, and slams into Cunningham's planted right knee with terrifying force. The sound of Sophie collapsing had the whole arena gasping. She screamed in pain, grabbing her leg as teammates rushed over, and the crowd fell into shocked silence. Trainers scrambled to her side before helping her limp off, unable to even put weight on that knee. Everyone knew instantly this wasn't just a basketball play. It was reckless, dangerous, and career-threatening. But here's where things explode. Sophie's family made it clear they weren't letting this slide. Her sister, Lindsay Cunningham, tore into the league on social media. At WNBA, maybe you should focus less on finding players for comments about your poor officiating and more on hiring refs that actually protect your athletes. Pathetic. The post blew up instantly. Then her mother, Paula, doubled down, calling Hartley mean and out of control in a fiery post that's since been deleted. She even accused Hartley of having a pattern of dangerous play that the league keeps ignoring. That's not just a complaint, that's a direct shot at the WNBA itself. And now, the Cunningham family has filed a full-blown lawsuit against Hartley and the league, claiming negligence and even battery. What started as a foul has now turned into a legal war, with whispers spreading that not only Sophie Cunningham, but even Caitlin Clark might walk away from a league that can't protect its stars. The MRI was scheduled the next day, but honestly, the real damage was already done. Not just to Sophie's knee, but to the fragile trust between players, fans, and the league. And if stars like Cunningham and Clark decide enough is enough, the WNBA could be staring at a crisis like it's never seen before. This wasn't just a collision, it was a moment that shook the entire sport. What would you have done if you were in Sophie's shoes? This isn't just about one foul, it's about a league that's turned its biggest stars into punching bags. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's golden ticket, and Sophie Cunningham, her gritty teammate, have been taking hit after hit all season long. Clark's been out since July 15th with a brutal groin injury, sidelined for 13 straight games, and there's still no word on when, or if, she's coming back. Her body has been worn down by non-stop physical punishment, and fans are sick of seeing the league's top attraction treated like this. With Clark down, Cunningham stepped up big. She was putting up 8.6 points and 3.5 rebounds a game, then turned it up after the All-Star break, dropping 12.2 points on 55% shooting. But now, Indiana's roster looks like a hospital wing. Ari McDonald's got a broken foot, Sydney Colson tore her ACL, and now Cunningham's got a wrecked knee. The Fever's 19-16 record and that shaky 7th seed are hanging by a thread with just 9 games left. But here's the dirty secret nobody in the league office wants to talk about. The WNBA's refusal to crack down on dangerous fouls is pushing Clark and Cunningham to the edge. They're seriously considering walking away from the league for good. Can you imagine losing your 2 biggest stars because refs can't or won't protect them? Think about this. In basketball, a foul is supposed to cover any contact that restricts a player's movement or puts them in danger. When the contact is reckless or excessive, it's supposed to be upgraded to a flagrant foul, which can mean free throws, ejection, the works. So how on earth was Bria Hartley's knee-smashing collision with Cunningham not reviewed as a flagrant 2? That reckless extension into her planted leg could have ended her career. And it's not the first time we've seen this nonsense. Remember June 17th? Cunningham got slapped with a $900 fine and a flagrant 2 after a hard foul on J.C. Sheldon. But the backstory? Sheldon had literally poked Clark in the eye, and Marina Mabrey shoved her to the ground. Cunningham got punished, Sheldon walked away clean. Where's the consistency? Clark herself has been getting mauled all season, kneed in the stomach, shoved to the hardwood, and most of it goes unchecked. The message? If you're a star in the WNBA, you're basically a target. And here's the stat that seals the case. According to kinesiologist Lucas Seyfair, out of the WNBA's 179 active players, 141 have already suffered injuries this season. That's an insane rate for a league that only plays 44 games between May and September. Do the math. It feels like almost every game someone's going down. And when the majority of those someones are the faces of the league, you've got a full-blown crisis. So the question is, should Clark and Cunningham even stay in a league that refuses to protect them? Or is it time for them to take their talent somewhere else? This ain't just rough basketball. It's reckless and it's driving stars away. And if you thought things couldn't get uglier, buckle up. This wave of reckless play isn't just bruising bodies, it's breaking spirits, and the league's leadership is doing almost nothing about it. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has been silent like a ghost, her leadership as flimsy as a paper towel in a thunderstorm. Fans are outraged, analysts are blasting the officiating, and yet Engelbert seems more interested in rolling out polished PR campaigns like No Space for Hate than fixing the very crisis that's putting her stars in danger. Even respected coaches are calling her out. Becky Hammon pointed to Aja Wilson's concussion from an uncalled elbow as proof the league refuses to protect its MVPs. Stephanie White flat out said officials lost control after that infamous June 17th melee. And she's not alone. Across the league, players and coaches are begging for reform, but Engelbert's silence is louder than any whistle. And here's the kicker. Instead of fixing the problem, the league is busy punishing its own players for speaking up. Sophie Cunningham was slapped with a $500 fine for a TikTok and another $1,500 fine for comments on a podcast. Think about that. Players are paying more for voicing concerns than the league is paying attention to their safety. What message does that send? Shut up and play, even if it risks your career. At this point, it doesn't even feel like basketball anymore. It feels like a civil lawsuit just waiting to explode, and it's all unfolding under Engelbert's watch. Her refusal to demand stricter officiating is nothing short of betrayal to the very athletes carrying the WNBA's rising popularity. And the consequences? They're already brutal. Now let's zero in on Bria Hartley, because here's where it gets downright chilling. Hartley isn't just some unlucky player in the wrong place at the wrong time. She's been in drama before. Back in early 2025, she was ejected for pulling Angel Reese's hair and nailing Skylar Diggins with a flagrant foul. That's not an accident. That's a pattern. Her career has been a revolving door. From New York to Washington, Phoenix, Indiana, and now Connecticut. She's averaged just 6.7 points and 2.3 assists over her career. And this season, her numbers dipped even further, 5.8 points on 38% shooting. A long fall from her rookie year peak back in 2014, when she managed 9.7 points. No all-star nods, no superstar status, just a journeyman guard known more for controversy than contributions. But here's the image that lit the internet on fire. Right after her reckless crash into Sophie Cunningham's knee, photos started circulating online of Hartley smiling. That chilling snapshot left fans disgusted, critics furious, and Sophie's family calling it proof that Hartley's foul wasn't just careless, it was cold-blooded. As Sophie Cunningham writhed in pain, the arena exploded, and fans online wasted no time turning Bria Hartley into public enemy number one. One furious post summed it up. Hartley smiled after going straight at Sophie's leg. What a sick move! People weren't buying that it was just an accident, not with her history. To many, Hartley isn't a baller known for skill. She's a player who thrives on chaos. And if not for this dirty moment, would anyone even know her name? But here's the part Hartley couldn't stomach. Even after the hit that knocked Cunningham out, the Indiana Fever still came out on top. They beat Connecticut 99-93 in overtime, thanks to an unbelievable performance from Kelsey Mitchell, who dropped a career-high 38 points. Mitchell turned the night into her own highlight reel, proving Hartley's dirty play didn't even help her squad get the win. Hartley's pattern is nothing new. Back in 2024, she got ejected after a scuffle with Rebecca Allen and Ariel Atkins. Her so-called tough style has never translated into championships, and Connecticut's 18-17 record says it all. Aggression without results doesn't make you feared. It makes you reckless. Now, Cunningham's family is pushing it even further, alleging Hartley's attack wasn't just reckless, it was intentional. They cite her history of being out of control as proof. The lawsuit claims battery, arguing that Hartley knowingly caused harmful contact beyond what basketball allows. And in Indiana, battery is legally defined as knowingly or intentionally touching someone in a rude, insolent, or angry manner. If this holds up in court, it could be historic, turning ugly WNBA fouls into legal cases with real consequences. And let's be real, Hartley's resume doesn't exactly scream superstar. She's never averaged double digits in points, never led a team to a title, and never been a face of the league. Instead, she's built a reputation off physical scraps and controversy, clinging to relevance in ways that keep players like Cunningham in danger. But here's where the story flips. Sophie refused to let the foul steal her shine. Even sidelined with a torn-up knee, she went on social media to celebrate Kelsey Mitchell's monster night. Her post read, "Kelsey freaking Mitchell," showing nothing but pride for her teammate. She chose positivity when she had every reason to wallow. That moment turned Sophie into more than just a player. It cemented her as a leader. Caitlin Clark backed her too, calling Mitchell MVP and praising her grit, proving that even with injuries piling up, this Fever team is still fighting like dogs for the postseason. And Sophie? She keeps the locker room's energy alive. Her lighthearted IG caption from August showed her joking about playing dead on the court after drawing a foul. Fans ate it up, calling her both tough and hilarious. Her resilience has built her brand. She's gained over 1 million new followers, landed a ring endorsement deal, and earned the nickname Caitlin Clark's Enforcer for always having her teammates back. Remember that June 17th incident when she dragged JC Sheldon down after Sheldon fouled Clark? Sophie got fined, and nearly 200 people signed a petition to ban her from the league. But she didn't fold. On her podcast, she made it clear. "It pisses me off when people say she's not the face of the league. You're dumb for saying that." Love her or hate her, Sophie Cunningham's loyalty and grit have made her a lightning rod and a fan favorite. And now, with lawsuits, fines, and fights piling up, she's more than just a role player. She's the symbol of a league that's at war with itself. Her fines prove one thing: Sophie Cunningham isn't scared to speak truth to power, even if it costs her thousands. And here's the kicker: this whole saga is just getting started. The Cunningham family's lawsuit could force the WNBA to finally face its flaws and maybe even change how the league protects its stars from the same brutal physicality that's already sidelined Caitlin Clark and so many others. But here's the nightmare scenario. What if both Clark and Cunningham decide enough is enough and walk away to a new league? That's where everything falls apart. Think about it. Clark's games have pulled in record-breaking TV ratings, turning her into the league's biggest draw. And Cunningham, her viral locker room dances, her fiery defense of Clark, and her fearless personality have made her a social media juggernaut. Together, they're the faces of the future. And without them, the WNBA loses its spark. Fans are already buzzing with calls for Clark to sit out the rest of 2025 just to protect her body from further damage. And if Cunningham's lawsuit sticks, it could be a game changer, forcing accountability where Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has flat out failed. Some are even demanding Engelbert be fired, or that the league undergo a massive front office shakeup just to save its credibility. But while the lawyers prepare for battle, the Fever still have a season to play. Their next test, the Minnesota Lynx on August 22nd. But let's be real. The real fight isn't on the hardwood anymore. It's in the courts, in the doctor's office, and in the court of public opinion. Will Cunningham's MRI reveal hope? Will Clark finally make her return this Friday? Or will this lawsuit rip the lid off the WNBA's biggest secret, that it's been failing the very stars who keep it alive? This isn't just a basketball story anymore. This is about loyalty, leadership, and justice. So now we gotta hear from you. Should Clark and Cunningham stay and fight, or bounce to something bigger? Should Engelbert be shown the door? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and join the conversation, because this storm is only getting louder.